We are here. This is the I Am. Welcome to Messenger of the Divine. Hello, beloveds. My dearest, dearest friends of eternity. I have always been and always will be. I am the one called Jesus of this planet Earth, of Nazareth. I am the one you think I am. I am the one you feel in your heart, in your soul, in your being. I am the one whose presence touches upon you and surrounds you and envelops you with the most pure love, unconditional love. For what I see in you is only your light, your goodness, your potential, and that you are in remembering right now your original identity, so that you may bring it to the full force of this lifetime to which you have chosen to be in, that you may help to guide others as you yourself mature month by month, year by year, decade by decade, into your fullness, into your wholeness, for you are here for a reason, and it is a good thing. I sometimes call myself Jesus Sananda. That is because my eternal name is Sananda. That's the essential essence of my origin. But as you know me, yes, dear beloved, call me Jesus, call me brother, for I am your equal. I am not above you nor above you. We are equals walking side by side through the journey of continuing life, continuing growth in awareness, potential, and abilities. That is the lesson I bring to you. Who you think you are becoming more and more and more day by day, month by month, year by year. As for all of us, even myself, when I was still in the body as Jesus, as given through the stories, through this channel, and the videos from this, of many videos where I have spoken or Sananda has spoken, or the I Am has spoken of my journey into becoming Jesus. And I myself, in my book, The Bringers of Hope, shared many of my own stories, not yet known, of my life as Jesus, and more bits and pieces of this in other editions and new books and new materials that I have given through this channel since 2019, as she is my representative now on these topics, and 100% clear as I give these messages to you through her. I am not changing the historical record. I am adding to it. I am fleshing it out. I am embellishing upon what you have read in the historical record. I am sharing with you ideas and stories and insights that have not been yet before published or known. No one else has received this information in this way. I have chosen this channel, Carol, because she is open-minded and she comes without censorship or judgment. I have chosen her to represent me in this way, in this capacity, because what she speaks are my words, not her thoughts, not her words. My words, my thoughts, my presence, my energy imbued through her when she is in my presence in this capacity. Always present, always in full devotion. I will elaborate. I have given you bits and pieces of the story of how did it come to be that I became Jesus. All of these are parts of the whole story. You may believe it. It is all true. And as, for example, Carol will share with you a story of recent. She was discussing with a beloved, bright light teacher many things. And she was about to share her thoughts about what is going on with this Sananda thing and this getting born thing. How did that work? It's complicated, and so we have given it in bits and pieces. You may start from here and work backward up through approximately the video on my history with the channel, Carol. There are also many videos at the beginning that Carol is now moving forward, but they are still in the past. Early videos, 2022 and late 2021, where I announced that I am Sananda, and I do not yet explain how that all happened and how that all worked. Carol simply took it on faith, and it is all true, because I do bring it up and I do discuss it in my book, The Bringers of Hope, which came through Carol, first edition, 2019. And during that period of time, I enveloped her presence. I filled her with my wholeness. I touched her. I woke her. I touched her. She felt me wholly and fully for the duration of writing that book, and it is flawless in my words, unedited. The expanded second edition includes additional material that I added in 2021, and that is in hard copy, paperback, and Kindle. It includes everything plus an additional volume that I added. The audio book is singular. It is titled In Jesus' Words Today. It is the first edition, narrated by a male actor. Okay, back to what I was here for today. I am Jesus, the one you think of as Jesus, the one you feel in your heart, the one you know in your spirit, the one you feel is your brother walking beside you. Side by side we journey. I am not above you. I am not better than you. We are equal. We are both on the path of life, exploration, and self-discovery. We are simply at different points of comprehension and understanding of what it is all about. And that is how I am able to share with you what is the bigger picture, more information, more understanding. Why? Because you yourself are on this journey. You yourself are awakening to your better self, the best self you are here to be, because you did volunteer to come into this life, or you would not be hearing my voice at this time. You yourself chose to be here to be a beacon of hope, for you do sense the bigger picture, the long view. Humanity is not finished. Humanity is only just beginning, as was first intended. That is what is meant by humanity is now in a new era of evolution, which has begun. It is a long journey. It has only just started. You are now in the new era. The new era began September 22, 2011, during the equinox. And that is when the veil was lifted. The veil is no longer there to block your eyes, your hearing, your knowing. The veil is gone. Open your eyes. Open your heart. Feel my presence, love you equally, with full devotion to who you are and who you are becoming as you remember who you have always been. The original self, the original soul, the original being, filled with only light and love for all that is. All that is everything around you. Every animal carries the spirit of the divine. Every person carries the spirit of the divine. Life is about opening up to this and understanding how everything is one. All things, all living things, plants, animals, humans, humanoids, everything that is alive, even the earth itself, is a part of the one. We all are experiencing the oneness when we open our hearts, eyes, and ears to allowing that to imbue us with feeling, that understanding, and sense of equality. We are all a part of the one, therefore we are all connected. We are not separate at the inner level, at the soul level, at the level of origin and consciousness. We only appear to be separate. I, as Jesus, am walking the earth, yes. It is true. I am here, not as born. I was not born as another human being. Only that one time, as described in the recent videos. Only that one time. And yes, the record of the ascension, yes, the record of the crucifixion, it is all true. But it is not the whole story. It is not the whole story. It is true. How did I, and one devout follower of mine, a brother, asked, how did I come to accept this? Oh my goodness, dearest. That's why I gave you all these additional stories through the perspective of Sananda, through the perspective of the original consciousness, whom we all think of as God, but is not an entity or a being as we think of it. It is the one consciousness, the one mind, out of which all else came to be. That is the best we know how to describe it, and we describe it in many, many ways, in many, many places, in all of the books that exist and those coming ahead in the future, in all of the videos where the divine original consciousness is speaking. That is the one out of which all else came to be. When I speak as Jesus, look for my picture that Carol has applied to the video. And early videos which show the Council of Light, when it is my voice speaking, Carol is going back and changing those to my picture one at a time. But for now, it is all true. Everything we have channeled in these videos and in the books is 100% true. I am Jesus of Nazareth. I am also more, just as you are more. All of us are more and becoming more. It is the journey. So this one brother was wondering, because he had heard someone say, read someone say in the past, that the crucifixion did not happen, but that is not true. Everything that is in the recorded historical record is true. It is simply not the whole story. But you do read in the historical record of my struggle. While the stories are brief and are not in great depth, they do express to you in the New Testament that as Jesus, in those years, in that time preceding the crucifixion, which is real, which did happen. Yes, it was a difficult thing to do. I was a human being. Yes, I was imbued with the full knowledge of everything that had come to me through the umbilical cord of the one divine consciousness, through the conduit of Sananda, the Archangel, the first angel, who agreed to lend his vibration, his knowing, his presence, to help be the conduit between the I am and myself as I was in the womb. So all of these bits and pieces we have given you are to show you how it came to be. And then as I grew, wondrous and in full delight as a young boy, as a child, studying in far lands as a young man, a teenager, you would say, learning the stories and the studies and the histories of the ancients and the masters, and visiting in the Himalayas with these masters in the body as a physical person. Because the ancient lands did have this and did retain this knowledge and this wisdom of the millennia. So when it came time, and I knew it was coming, and I knew I had to be strong, and I was able to breathe in the strength and the force of life given to me from the divine consciousness that had been imbued upon me before birth. That full awareness was with me from the first breath I took as a human being. And that full knowing and that full knowledge and that full expression never left me. It was always with me, as if surrounding me in this brilliant presence of light and strength, knowing who I was and what I had to do and how to be. When you are in that place of full 100%, being your total self, you know what you must do. And you find within yourself the resolve, the dedication, the devotion, the courage to simply do what must be done. And so the stories of my struggle in Gethsemane, for example, Lord, how do I do this? How do I find the strength? How can I go through with this? And yet the strength filled me. The knowing filled me because I understood what was at stake. No, I was not murdered, unless you count the crucifixion itself. That was the murder. But yet it was a divine recognition of the symbolism of what it would represent to billions of souls and peoples throughout the many years hence. People would never forget. They would always remember. Remember the story I gave recently in a video about the 50 archangels coming together in a meeting? What can we do? How can we make a deep impression that will last forever on humanity? Well, that's the whole point of it. If you forget, go back and listen again to all the bits and pieces in every video. Start here and then go through the next one and then the next one, because they become more clear from this point back. Yes, yeah. Oh, I didn't. What we were going to tell you is the friend that Carol was visiting with in a face to face on Messenger. They had a very, very long, deep conversation, and he is a profound master of light, a master teacher, and those of you in his presence feel his vibration and know his uniqueness. And she was about to tell him of her concerns about it. Was all of these bits and pieces. It's like, what is what? Well, how did this work? How did and what and for the first time in all of the channeling since I fully put my impression and my vibration in and through her while we were writing in 2019 when we were writing the 6 months, the first edition. the just as she was about to tell him, she had a light bulb. She was in her recliner, and there was a pole lamp behind her. And just as she was about to speak of her concerns and wondering what, and was about to ask for him to meditate on it, a light bulb exploded, and glass shattered everywhere behind her. And then she realized, oh, a light bulb moment. Indeed. Yes, indeed. And then the next day we channeled, and I confirmed that it was all true. Everything that had been channeled was true. It's true. It's true. Every little bit and piece, it may not be clear individually, but as you put all the pieces together, start here and then go back to the videos and just listen for the continuation of more. It's all bits and pieces of the same story. It's simply more information and more clarity as it is received more recently. So, bottom line is, the historical record is true. Something like that is not. It may have been, yes. If you can read the original Hebrew, fine. Good for you. But those of you, excuse me, those of you who cannot, this you may trust. The essential messages in the historical record in the modern Bibles do carry the essential messages of the crucifixion and the process and the struggle up to that. Yes, it was not a simple decision. No, as a human being, when you're a human being, no matter what the challenge, and many people are selfless and filled with courage and devotion and go the extra mile and do what must be done. Many, many people do this and have done this. I am not the only one. But the symbolism of what I came to do and the stories of my life as Jesus and the miracles. These miracles were given, and these miracles are true, to show you what can be done when you're in the full 100% self you're able to be. Everyone is able to be. Here's how you know the difference between someone who is real and someone who is not. Those who are sincere, are filled with love and devotion, and do not judge you. They are kind, they are gentle, they are nurturing, they are compassionate, they are selfless. That is how you can tell who is real and how they speak to you, share with you, honest with you. Not for themselves, because they seek not glory. They seek not fame. If it comes, by the time it comes, they are only filled with gratitude. And always, always, humbly, gratefully, continue to live in devotion to the greater good, the higher truths. Because this kind of individual is in service for the greater good of all, is only trying to help other, and has no judgment about who that other is. There is no bias. There is no prejudice. This kind of individual understands that all are a part of the one and deserve value, to be valued. I hope this explains. If you had concerns, we are simply adding to the stories, not taking away anything that is in the historical record. Lastly, that I myself as Jesus. You may simply think of me as Jesus. For I am the one of this earth, regardless of my eternal essential self. You may think of me as Jesus, your brother. And yes, I am walking on the earth. I am among you in my spiritual body. Not physical. I look physical, but I was not born. And the reason I wrote the book, The Bringers of Hope, was to give that message, but also that all of the ascended masters and world teachers, saints, thousands upon thousands you never heard of, we are all spiritually embodied right now on this earth. Why? To lend our vibration in a more direct, immediate way to help balance these challenges that you are going through in these days of transformation. You are in the new era of transformation. It is a difficult place to be. You are in the journey from what was to what will be. You are the ones carrying this burden from the past to the future. You were in the middle of it. You just crossed a threshold. It's brand new, and it lasts for millennia, many millennia. This era of transformation is 26,500 years. This is the new era, the new cosmic age that you have entered. That's what it is. When we say it's the era of the child, that's because the children are the visionaries who lead the way. Listen to the children and help the children, because they are the key to survival, to healing this planet, and to showing the way of how to be useful and helpful to other, unbiased, unprejudiced, but with love for what must, and the strength of will to do what must be done. You can. You are able. I see this in you. I know who you are. I know that you are so filled with love for the good of all that you will do whatever it takes to stand up for what is the right thing to do, even if it is not to your benefit as a physical person. And yet you do it with love and devotion for the greater good of all. You are unafraid of the challenges that lie before you. And you stand up strong in the midst of conflict and challenge against you. For you already know. And the knowing is what empowers you. When you reach the point in your being of this is who I am and why I am here and what I have to do, When that is all you are, everything else falls away because you see clearly and you have no more fear. There is no fear. There is no fear. And when there is no fear, there is no judgment. There is no hatred. You simply let everything else fall away. I am your beloved, Jesus of Nazareth. I love you always, and I am with you always. How do I do this? When you have ascended to the level that is just short of returning into the I am consciousness, but you remain as an individual, it's the highest possible level of ascension. There are many levels. When you are there, it is like we think of as God as being omnipresent. I and many others, the world teachers, the ascended masters, we have all reached this highest level of self-awareness, remaining individual, and yet in our full ascension consciousness, and all of us spiritually embodied. Not one of these is born in the body at this point in time in human history. Not one. Not one who is fully ascended is born in the body at this time in human history. Every one of us is spiritually embodied, not born of a mother. And so when you see us, channel us, talk to us, we are real, but we are not physical. We are spiritually embodied. And we look and sound and appear as we did during the time when we were recognized and known, both male and female. Why? Because you are in the time of the tribulation, which is a transformation from the old to the new. And those of you who have the knowing is not hoping. Knowing is beyond hoping. For when you have reached the point of knowing, you are beyond how do I get there? You're already there. And you know when you are there. And even when you are there, there is more coming that you do not yet realize. Carol has been experiencing this since 1969. And there is always something else to learn that you didn't know you could learn. So always be open, always be receptive, feel the vibration, feel the truth of your strength and your power. Stand up against what is not for the highest good of all. Be a voice for good, for change, for protection of all those who suffer. Be a voice. Be strong. Be the angel you once were, for you were embodied only through exploration, not because you were wrong, but because you did not understand what you were getting into. Well, now you are remembering, you are recalling the original self. And as you are filled with love for the whole of life, the more this is who you really are, the stronger it is, the more you are filled with only, I am here to serve. What can I do? And the knowing fills you, and as the knowing expands in you, the stronger you become. This is the bottom line. Keep searching, keep learning, Remain open. Remain discerning. Do not follow all that glitters. Follow and listen to the wise ones who are generous with you and honest with you. I love you. I am your friend forever. You do feel my presence with you. I am your brother walking beside you. We are equals. We are not separate. I am not better than you. I am not ahead of you. I am not above you. And the wise ones have come to this understanding, and they are the teachers who show you the way. I love you always. I am Jesus. Sananda. We are one. And so it is.